December 4th began like any other winter morning in Manhattan. The sky hung low and gray. At 6:44 a.m., a healthcare executive in an overcoat walked toward the Hilton Hotel on West 54th Street. He carried no fear. He had no bodyguard. Behind him, a young man in a hoodie matched his pace. The first bullet struck the executive's back. The second hit his calf. The third entered his chest. The victim fell face down on the cold pavement. His coffee cup shattered. The shooter did not flee. He walked east, then north, then disappeared into Central Park's bare trees. Police arrived at 6:52 a.m. They found 3 shell casings arranged in a straight line. Each casing had a single word etched into the metal. Those words would remain secret for weeks. The victim died at 7:12 a.m. Within 2 hours, surveillance images flooded news stations. A man in a dark hood, a gray backpack, a surgical mask hiding half his face. Detectives assumed a professional hitman. They were wrong. The shooter had no military record, no criminal history, no known enemies. He was 26 years old. He had graduated from an Ivy League university, and he had been planning this exact moment for 11 months. The manhunt lasted 5 days. The NYPD reviewed 4,000 hours of video. They interviewed 200 witnesses. They found nothing. Then a tourist discovered a gray backpack near the Central Park ice rink. Inside, Monopoly money, a jacket, and no identification. Police realized the shooter was not hiding evidence. He was leaving a message. Monopoly money meant the game was rigged. On day 5, a McDonald's employee in Altoona, Pennsylvania, recognized a young man eating breakfast alone. The employee called 911. Police arrived at 9:15 a.m. The young man handed over a fake ID, then he handed over a real one, Luigi Mangione. Inside Luigi's backpack, officers found a 3D printed pistol, a silencer, and 3 handwritten pages. The first sentence read, "Why did I do this?" The answer filled the rest of the page. He wrote about denied medical claims. He wrote about insurance companies that delayed treatment until patients died. He wrote about profits measured in human suffering. The NYPD called it a confession, but it contained no apology, no regret, no request for mercy. Instead, it ended with a single line. These people walk past bodies in the street and call it a business model. The signature was his full name, no alias, no disguise of the soul. Luigi Mangione was not born angry. He grew up in Maryland, the son of wealthy nursing home owners. He was valedictorian of his private high school. He earned a master's degree in computer science from the University of Pennsylvania. Friends described him as gentle, funny, and intensely private. Then came the back injury. Surgery followed, then months of rehabilitation. He wrote online about losing feeling in his legs, about doctors who refused to believe his pain, about insurance appeals that took 9 months. His Goodreads account showed a slow shift. He stopped reading fiction. He started reading manifestos. His friends stopped hearing from him entirely. In 2023, Luigi's family grew concerned. He sold his car. He stopped answering texts. He moved between hostels using only cash. His mother reported him missing in November. Police searched his last known address. They found books stacked on the floor. Titles included texts on chronic pain, political violence, and the collapse of American institutions. One book was open to a chapter titled, "When the Law Fails, Violence Speaks." Highlighted passages covered 2 pages. By then, Luigi was already in New York. Surveillance footage placed him near the Hilton Hotel 3 separate times. Each time he wore different clothes, different hats, different masks, the same steady walk. The victim ran America's largest health insurer. In 2023 alone, that company denied 33% of all claims. The industry average was 16%. A denied claim could mean a canceled surgery, a withheld medication, a death sentence written in bureaucratic language. The victim did not personally type those denial letters, but he approved the algorithms that generated them. When news of the shooting broke, online reactions divided sharply. Some wrote memorial messages, others wrote, "Finally." A woman whose cancer treatment was refused posted, "I am not celebrating, but I am not crying either." The memorial outside the hotel was removed within 24 hours. The online anger remained. The bullet casings told a hidden story. Each one carried a single word: delay, deny, depose. Those three words come from a 2010 book about insurance claim tactics. The book's author wrote that insurers deliberately delay approval, deny payment, and depose the patient's personal story until the patient gives up. Luigi had read that book. He had underlined those three words, then he had etched them into metal. Prosecutors call this premeditation. Defenders call it evidence of a broken system. The judge allowed the casings into evidence. The jury will see them. Three small pieces of brass, each one carrying a thesis statement written in cold metal. Federal prosecutors added a terrorism charge. They argued that Luigi intended to intimidate healthcare executives across America. One bullet, they said, aimed to change the behavior of thousands. The defense responded that terrorism requires a political motive. Luigi, they argued, was a mentally distressed young man with a spine injury and a library of angry books, not a soldier, not an ideologue, just a patient who fell through every crack. Jury nullification remains a real possibility. That is when jurors know a defendant broke the law but refuse to convict because they believe the law itself is unjust. It almost never happens. This case is almost never. The trial has not yet begun. Luigi Mangione sits in a federal detention center. He is allowed 1 hour of outdoor time per day. His family visits weekly. They do not speak to reporters. The CEO's widow has not spoken publicly since her first statement. Meanwhile, online fundraising pages for Luigi continue to appear. Each one is removed. Each one is replaced. Three possible endings remain: conviction, mistrial, or jury nullification. Each ending would send a different message to America. One question will not wait for the verdict. Why has this case captivated an entire nation? Because the shooter pulled a trigger, and half the country understood why.